All right, well, happy Friday, Central Georgia. I'm meteorologist Ansley Parker. I'm filling in for Alex Pry this morning, so I'm taking over the extended look at the forecast, and there is a lot to talk about in this extended forecast, mainly in the form of rain chances, and we've coming off of a couple of days of rain and heading into a few more days of rain chances this upcoming weekend. Now, off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and let you know there is going to be a lot of differences, in my opinion, versus what the graph model is saying. Now, it's a little bit wonky for the weekend rain chances, so I'm going to do my best to break it down. But visually, it's not going to be the best representation of what I exactly think is going to happen. So I'll do my best to kind of explain why it's being so wonky and hopefully give you a good idea of the weekend forecast ahead. But we'll get there. We're going to start with what's going on right now across the sky cams. Now, actually a good bit of sunshine out there. We've got cloud cover for the most part, but we've got a few more peaks of sunshine in the picture than we had earlier today, and that's for sure. Otherwise, it's still cloud cover. So this is kind of how the day will go. There'll be moments where there's a little more sunshine, and then there will be moments where it's mainly just cloud cover across the area. Luckily, today brings very little rain chances. So there's not a whole lot of rain in the forecast this afternoon, but it's going to be mainly a story of cloud cover and temperatures. So the temperatures across the area, they're warming up pretty slowly due to the cloud cover we had this morning. In a couple of spots, we're still hanging on to the low 60s. Other areas are in the upper 60s, and there's a couple of low 70s now in the picture. We'll generally hover around numbers similar to this as we go into the rest of the day. Overall, big picture, it's going to be a bit cooler today than it was yesterday. So yesterday's high temperature was 80 degrees. Today's high temperature is going to fall below average for this time of year, and below 80 degrees, it's going to fall into the mid to upper 70s. So a little bit of a cooler feel out there, but again, with a momentary sunshine from time to time, it's going to be a very, very pleasant afternoon. So hopefully that kind of gives you a picture of your Friday. And I would say take advantage of the weather for Friday, because overall, as we head into the weekend, there's going to be less opportunities to get outside. So today, with your day staying mostly dry, this is a good opportunity to take advantage of the start of the weekend and just go ahead and enjoy outdoor time. So again, cloud cover's out there, but the daytime's going to be dry. There is a rain icon on there now, and as we head into the nighttime, that's when rain chances start to go into the picture. So let's talk about the setup of the atmosphere right now. Let's talk about those rain chances for the weekend. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I'm going to have to do a little bit of explaining here with the graph model, because it's just not doing a great job with picking up on what's going on this upcoming weekend. And honestly, it's not just the graph. We love the graph. There's a lot of models that are having a really, really hard time with picking up on what's going on this weekend. So let me break it down for you so that you have the background knowledge, and then we can kind of walk through it together. So this is what our current satellite and radar looks like right now. Obviously, we have dense cloud cover across the entire state. You see a couple of light showers down there in South Georgia and a few on the Georgia-Alabama state line. But once we take away the clouds and look for rain here in Central Georgia, we really don't have any. So again, it's dry. We've got this kind of all bark, no bite cloud cover today, where it's cloudy, but it's not necessarily going to be rainy this afternoon. That does change heading into the weekend, so let's talk about why. So right now you're looking at the setup across the southeast, and most notably we have this cold front that's now hanging out in northern Florida and southern Georgia. So this cold front actually brought those rain and storm chances that we had Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. So it's now past us, but it's starting to slow down, and that's important because it's actually going to become what this little front is over here, a stationary boundary. So it's going to be parked right here in northern Florida and southern Georgia over the next couple of days. That's really, really important. This is the key piece to our forecast over the next few days. Now, why does that matter for us here in Central Georgia? Well, it matters for the exact reason that you're seeing over here in Louisiana and Texas. Notice this. There is this stationary boundary that they already have set up down here in the Gulf. And notice it's spurring up all of these showers, even a couple of thunderstorms over in Louisiana and the Texas coast. So that is actually what's going to happen to us. This stationary boundary is going to set up here, and it's going to be the catalyst for the rain chances that we have here in our area. So that seems pretty cut and dry, right? So why is the forecast complicated? Well, because unfortunately it's May, and in May we get those MCS systems. I know you're probably sick of hearing us talk about that, but this obviously is the driving factor for the moisture and the available energy that we'll have for showers and thunderstorms. But unfortunately, we also have different features in different levels of the atmosphere that are messing with what's going on at the surface and driving different factors and driving what's over there to the west our direction. So there's a couple different things going on, and that's why models are struggling to pick up on what's going on this weekend. So I'm going to walk you through the graph model. and I'm going to disagree with it a little bit here, but I'll try to walk you through what I think is going to happen. And then hopefully, as we go through the next couple of model runs, the graph will start to kind of pick up on the forecast and do a little bit of a better job with it. So we start tonight, and again, I said tonight's going to be mostly dry. We go through the entire day with a lot of cloud cover, but in terms of actual rain today, there's not a ton of that. But that boundary is starting to set up, so we may see a couple of really light showers down in our southern counties. Other than that, your Friday is going to be fairly dry. Then we head into early Saturday morning. So imagine that boundary down there that I just showed you has officially set up. We've got that in place. So now we have moisture in place for the rest of the weekend, and we have the fuel that we need to have showers and a couple of thunderstorms this weekend. So we walk into Saturday morning, and what I don't like off the bat about this is it shows a lot of coverage up in North Georgia and in our northern counties. But if you think about it, if that boundary is the thing that's driving the forecast, well, then the coverage should actually be down south up as opposed to this kind of picture that the graph is showing here. So what I want you to think for the weekend is if you are south of I-16, you've got better opportunity to see showers, to see widespread showers, and to see the heaviest of the rainfall and likely the embedded thunderstorms. That's obviously not what the graph is showing here, so you see my confusion in trying to communicate this. So imagine all of this red and all of this stuff is down here south of I-16, and up north of I-16, we still have showers, we still have embedded heavy pockets. But again, the totals are going to be a little bit higher down here to the south. So we go throughout the day on Saturday. We have pretty much widespread rain across our area through the entire day. There's going to be a rain chance on the table from the time you wake up Saturday to the time you go to bed Saturday, no matter what county you're in. So if you've got plans for Saturday, go ahead and wrap your mind around that. You need to prepare for the possibility of these on and off showers throughout the entire day. Sometimes you'll catch a shower that's light, where you see the light green in here. But sometimes you'll catch a pretty heavy downpour, and sometimes that downpour can even have a couple of lightning strikes and some rumbles of thunder in it as well. So that's going to be the pattern for Saturday. Close to an all-day washout, but there may be opportunities where you can kind of duck and dodge the rainfall. The totals are going to be highest down in our southern counties, and that's probably where the concentration of a couple of thunderstorms is going to be as well. See, I paused it here because I like what this is showing. It gives you a good idea that a lot of the activity is down south because those fronts are down south. Either way, we've got rain chances in the picture on Saturday. Most places will at least see 1 or 2 showers through the day on Saturday. Sunday is actually really the one that's giving me a little bit of trouble because that boundary is still in place as we head into Sunday. All of the features in the atmosphere are still there. So Sunday actually should be a pretty similar setup to what we just looked at for Saturday. The problem is the graph model over the last couple of runs has tried to back rain chances out of Sunday completely. I unfortunately don't think that's going to be the case, as much as I would love to get on here and say that that's going to be the case because it's Mother's Day and I want the mothers to be able to get out and enjoy plans with their families. I unfortunately still think we should plan for a few rain chances on Sunday, likely in the morning time. The graph kind of now is picking back up on rain chances. I'll tell you what, during this morning shows, this entire model was completely blank for the entire day on Sunday, and I was trying not to look like a crazy person saying, I know the model shows nothing, but I do think we have a couple of rain chances in the picture Sunday. Now it's eased a few more rain chances back into the picture. So early Sunday morning, we still have a couple of rain chances lingering with us. And then we head into kind of the time you're waking up, heading to church, heading to brunch, doing all the kind of things that you need to do for Sunday morning. And there still is some scattered showers and a few embedded thunderstorms across the area. So I do still think those scattered showers, a couple of thunderstorms, and better coverage down in our southern counties will be around for Sunday as well. The second half of Sunday could look a little bit better, but even then, when we get some sunshine, we actually kind of get that summertime pop-up thing where we have a few convective showers and thunderstorms across our area Sunday. So both days plan for rainfall. I think Sunday looks a little bit better than Saturday. Maybe you have more opportunities to duck and dodge a couple of showers, but overall both days have rain chances, and it's kind of those unpredictable rain chances where I can't necessarily tell you which areas are going to see showers and which ones aren't. It's equal playing field for just about everybody. It's just that our southern counties south of I-16 probably will have heavier showers throughout both days. So that is the weekend. I know that was kind of a lot that I threw at you, a little bit of disagreement here with the models, but I hope that that at least makes a little bit of sense. I've also mentioned thunderstorms a couple of times in my talking here over the last couple of minutes, and I want to show you the Storm Prediction Center outlooks. Now, right off the bat, We're not included in any of these, but it kind of supports the pattern that I was just showing you a moment ago with the fronts. The Storm Prediction Center outlooks are all focused in on where that stationary boundary would be. If you can just kind of imagine it in your mind, in northern Florida and southern Georgia, that's where the concentration of severe thunderstorms will be over the next couple of days. So that was Friday, this is Saturday, and then this is Sunday, and you can see it just kind of lands just below our southern counties. Here is where we're expecting to see strong to severe storms. So we can expect that in our area, we could still support a couple of thunderstorms. They just probably won't be able to be strong to severe. So that's kind of the case in terms of thunderstorm activity. We're not in any sort of outlook. I don't expect to see severe weather this weekend, but kind of similar to what we experienced Thursday morning. You could hear a couple of rumbles of thunder. There could be a thunderstorm or two that may have some pretty strong winds for a moment before it ends up dying down, and that'll be the case for both days. So for the weekend, I want you to be prepared for the possibility for showers and the possibility for thunderstorms for both days. I wanted to, and originally I had differentiated the rain chances on both of these, but because the models are so back and forth and because there's so much disagreement from run to run, I think it's better to just kind of blanket call these days both 40%. 40% of the area will be seeing rainfall likely throughout the entire day. Sometimes about 60% of the area will be dry. I think that's going to be the case for Saturday and for Sunday, and important to note that there will be a couple of thunderstorms out there as well. So just go ahead as you factor in your weekend plans. Think about how rain is going to factor into those. You know, you could play it a little risky, try to be outside from time to time when there's breaks in the rain, but definitely be aware that there could be another shower or thunderstorm on the way after that. Hopefully the second half of Sunday here looks a little bit better. I know it's Mother's Day. Shout out to my mom. We are all very excited to celebrate. This is just kind of going to be a good weekend to have some indoor backup plans because it's going to be a little bit of a messy weekend. But the good news is, as we head into the upcoming work week, after several days of rain chances, we actually have a couple of dry days ahead of us here. And I know we wouldn't normally be hoping for dry days because of the drought conditions that we're in, but I'll show you the rainfall totals here in just a moment, and we are doing exceptional for the beginning of the month of May. So as we head into the upcoming work week, another reason why I don't buy that system moving out by Mother's Day is because check out the long range models, still showing a lot of this moisture and a lot of showers still lingering in our area by the time we get to Monday morning. So I think the system hangs around all the way until Monday evening. Then that front starts to move on and we push all that moisture out of our area, and we're actually going to stay dry for Tuesday, for Wednesday, and then all the way into Thursday. So the majority of the work week will be dry, but we got to make it through a couple of these showers first through the weekend and into the early work week. Now, I really like what the European model has done here with the weekend rain chances because I think it does a good job showing what I was just talking about. If you're south of I-16, you've got a really good chance of at least seeing higher totals than if you're north of I-16. The heavier showers and the thunderstorms are going to be focused in on these areas that are shaded in purple and even in red here, which means we could get totals that are close to 3 inches. So that is really, really good on top of what we've already done this month. That will be a good thing for the map that you're looking at right now, the drought monitor. Obviously, this has been our big focus for so many weeks and so many months here. And we are still in a pretty serious situation here. Now, the one thing that has been bothering me so much about the last couple of days of rain chances is there has been really, really light totals basically where we need it the most. In this exceptional drought category down here in Telfair, Wheeler, Montgomery, portions of Dodge and Wilcox, they have not really seen many totals at all. And I'll show you the map here in just a moment, but they need the rain the most. Based on what I just showed you, that projected rainfall totals, they could end up seeing enough to kind of carry them out of the exceptional drought category if they continue to get rounds of rainfall like that in the rest of the month. So good news is on the way for the southern counties. Even outside of that, we have the extreme drought taking up a majority of our area, and a lot of these areas are still expected to get some good rainfall totals as well. So in terms of what we already have seen, adding on to what we'll get this weekend is really going to be good news for us. So right now we're looking at the 5-day rainfall totals just off the jump. You can see what I'm talking about. This is exactly where that exceptional drought is, and this is one of the driest areas that we have here in central Georgia over the last 5 days. So the focus in on the heavier totals being south of I-16, I think will be a good thing for those places. And even down here in Crisp and Wilcox, we'll talk specific numbers here in just a moment, but they didn't even see anything super crazy over the last couple of days. So let's jump into the numbers from the last few days. Obviously, we had that system late Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. That drove a lot of rain here into our region, and you can see these bands here. The reason that they're kind of like that, where we have this yellow band across the area in between these green bands, we had what we call training of showers and thunderstorms, and training is actually exactly what it sounds like. It's almost like a train, an actual train, where thunderstorms and showers will follow each other in a line over the same area. So they just continue to dump showers and storms in the same area, which ends up with some pretty high rainfall totals in those areas that have been trained over. So that's what's happened in our northern counties here, resulting in rainfall totals over 4.5 inches in a couple of the heaviest spots. So really, really good rainfall in a few of those areas here in our northern counties, from Upson all the way into Washington County here. We got a little bit lower than that, but still over an inch of rainfall in every spot and close to 2 inches in most spots. Then we kind of had another yellow band here right across the center of central Georgia, and that is somewhere in between the 2 to 3.5 inch mark. So good numbers from the last couple of days. Again, we just didn't include our southern counties. So these southern counties definitely need rainfall. I mean, over here in Telfair, Wheeler, Montgomery, check that out. Compared to the 4.5 inches that we saw up there in Jasper County, we only get close to 1/2 inch down in these counties. I mean, we definitely need to get some good rainfall in these areas. Otherwise, it's another area of big green down here in the southern counties, which is good because, again, that's still over an inch in rainfall. So good totals from the last couple of days. And actually, in Macon yesterday, we set a record. We broke the record set back in 1915 for the amount of rainfall that fell on, what is today, May 7th. So we ended up seeing over 2 inches of rainfall here in the Macon area. And again, that broke the record of the May 7th record set back in 1915. So a super old record we actually ended up breaking. And we're already well above average for this time of year as we head into the next couple of days. The average for the month of May is a little over 2.5 inches. Where we're at right now is already over 3 inches. So we're doing really well in terms of, actually, for once, for the first time in a while, already exceeding the average. I mean, this is the first month that we've even met the average as we've kicked off the entire year of 2026. So it's just good news, good news, good news that keeps on rolling, and there's more rain chances in the forecast. So luckily, we just keep on tacking on these rainfall totals here as we go through the weekend, and hopefully we can just work on correcting the drought conditions here in our area and actually making a real true dent in those, especially as we head into the summer months, and there's hopefully rain chances in the forecast almost every day through those months. So this is a look at what I was just telling you about. Every month so far this year, we have had below average rainfalls. We haven't even hit the average for the month. So we have been in an extreme rainfall deficit. That's no surprise to anybody, especially based on the drought conditions that we've had here. The month of May, we've already exceeded the average for the month, and we've definitely exceeded the average for where we should be as of May 8th. We're in fact 2.5 inches over where we should be here in the day, May 8th. So really, really good so far. We're going to keep on adding to that number as we go through the next couple of days. And then hopefully as we head into the next few months, we can keep that momentum, because that's ultimately what we need. In order to actually correct these drought conditions, we got to keep this going. 1 month of really good rainfall is definitely a good thing for us, but we need several months of really good rainfall to actually correct the drought conditions here. So we got to keep working at it as we go through the rest of the year. But rainfall is obviously a really big story. It's not the only story. Temperatures are also a big story right now, because temperatures have been super, super comfortable and super, super temperate. So we're looking right now at the Climate Prediction Center 8 to 14 day outlook. This gives us an idea of what's going to be happening in the long-term forecast, and you'll notice we are included in the below normal category. What that really means is that we're forecasted to have below average temperatures as we go through May 8th through the 14th. So you're looking at the week ahead of us here, and then the week beyond that. And it should come as no surprise to us, because check out the last couple of days. We've kicked off the month of May in a totally below average way. Friday, May 1st, we had a high temperature of 72 degrees. That was the lowest so far this month. The highest and the only day that we've had above average was only 87, so not even a 90-degree day. We have had a really, really comfortable start to the month of May, mostly due to rain chances, but also just kind of due to changes in air masses as different systems ride through our area. We just haven't had that true high pressure dome that allows us to heat up to super crazy numbers like we typically do in the summertime, and honestly, like we did early on in the month of April. So really quiet, calm, very, very below average start to the month of May here. And then as we go through the next few days, as you just saw in the 8 to 14 day outlook, we're actually expected to continue on this same trend. So check out the average here at the top of your screen, 84 degrees. That number does climb as we go throughout the month. So we've already knocked it up from 82 to 84. So 84 degrees is the the average high temperature for this time of year. Not a single 84 degrees in sight as we go through the next couple of days. So highs with rain chances, again, with different air masses moving through here, are going to stay somewhere in the mid to upper 70s and the low 80s. So we're going to be below average for the next few days, and that's going to feel fairly comfortable. You can kind of copy and paste whatever you felt for the last few days into the next week or so, and that's how temperatures are going to feel. Not a ton of fluctuation. There's obviously not a huge difference between upper 70s and low 80s. Overall, things are going to feel fairly similar and, again, fairly comfortable. There's no other way to spin that. These are not bad numbers, especially compared to where we could be sitting in the month of May. As you know, staying in the 80s and honestly staying in the 70s is a bit of a rarity for us. We would normally be tacking on a lot more 90-degree days here at the beginning of May. So it's not only the mornings, but it's not only the afternoons, but it's also the mornings as well. The mornings are going to be right around average, so obviously those high temperatures were well below average. The mornings, not quite as below average. They'll definitely be around average, but it's going to be kind of where we should be for this time of year. So the average low at this time of year is 57 degrees. Our temperatures are going to hover somewhere around that, so mid to upper 50s and low 60s are the temperatures that will greet you out the door each morning. Again, a lot in part due to cloud cover and rain chances is kind of keeping us consistent at around the same temperature, and a lot just due to the fact that we're kind of hovering just where we should be for this time of year. So calm temperatures, temperate temperatures that are just comfortable each morning and each afternoon. There's not a ton of crazy temperature differences on the 7-day forecast here. So that's what this will reflect. We will go back to this rain chance here just to kind of wrap it all in a little bit of a prettier bow. Obviously, we have about a 20% for today. That's really for later tonight as the system starts to set up. We could see a light shower or two down in our southern counties late tonight. Hopefully nothing that would really bother any outdoor plans for Friday night. It's really just going to be a little bit of a cloudy Friday night. Then we head into Saturday. As you wake up on Saturday, you should be prepared for the possibility of rainfall through the entire day. There will be moments where you don't have rainfall, but there also will be moments where you've got at least a heavy shower, but probably a couple of steady showers, maybe even a thunderstorm or two. That's Saturday. For now, we will copy and paste that to Sunday. It looks like they could fall under the same pattern or category, but there also could be some changes in this as we go through the day on Saturday. If we see how Saturday goes, we see what it's really like as this pattern sets up over our area. We see if the models correct themselves a bit based on how Saturday goes. Sunday could change a lot. So if you have a lot of interest in Sunday, you're really trying to get outdoors for something, or you're really trying to work around something, definitely stay up to date with the forecast tonight and tomorrow, because that is when we'll get a lot more details. I know it's frustrating to have to wait that close to get real details on a forecast, but it's just one of those systems where we really won't know until we see what happens on Saturday, how that actually sets up over our area and what it actually does when it interacts with our environment. So Sunday's details could change a lot. Meteorologist Ben Jones will be in tonight, of course, and he will have the latest model data that I maybe didn't have this morning, so he can kind of fine tune that a little bit, and then Danny and I will do that tomorrow as well. So Mother's Day, it's definitely a day that you'll want to pay attention to if you have interest in what the rain chances will be. I definitely think at least by Monday evening, this system will have moved on. So I kept the rain chance around 20 for Monday. We could see a couple of lingering showers around on Monday morning into the afternoon, but otherwise, then the system will push out for the second half of Monday, and then it's dry beyond that. We stay dry Tuesday all the way through Thursday next week, so we keep those rain chances knocked to low. There is a 10% on there for Wednesday, but there's no major next system, at least through the rest of the work week. So we stay nice and dry through then. And again, we just talked a little bit about temperatures, but not a ton to mention temperature-wise. We go to the upper 70s, to the low 80s, and that is about where we're going to sit for the next 7 days. All of those numbers, whether that's 80s or 70s, are below average for this time of year. So comfortable temperatures and a few rain chances in here before we clear back up and get sunshine back in the forecast. It's not too bad. It's really just a little bit of a dreary weekend for those who have graduation or other outdoor celebration, and of course Mother's Day celebrations. Sorry that we had to move a couple of those plans indoors, but hopefully you can still get them going off without a hitch. And congratulations to all the graduates. That is a very exciting weekend that we have ahead of us here. So With that being said, that is the look at the extended forecast right now. Like I said, this is a forecast you'll want to pay attention to and tune into throughout the weekend. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. to do another extended look at the forecast right here on 13 WMZ, so you're already in the right place. And on Mother's Day, if you're just looking for a final look at what the rest of the day is going to be like, I'll be live once again right here on 13 WMZ at 10 a.m. instead of 11 a.m. So that's the one day of the week where we change the time a little bit, but Sunday it will be at 10 instead of 11. But tomorrow you can join me right here at 11 a.m. So with that, thank you so much for joining me this morning. We will be back here at midday and hope you have a great Friday.